Have you ever heard these comments? Oh, there's just no milk in those first few days after delivery. Or formula is just the same, very similar to breast milk. Mama, these comments can hurt your confidence and your milk supply. Today, I'll be busting 5 of the biggest breastfeeding myths with both science and personal experience. Hi, if you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Chigazie. I am a mom to two. I'm an epidemiologist and a public health researcher. I'm not your doctor, but I'm here to provide you with the evidence and tips, as well as walk you through this season with both encouragement and you feel joy and fulfillment. So, myth number one, your breast will sag if you breastfeed. Unfortunately, breastfeeding does not cause your breast to sag. In fact, pregnancy itself, as well as age and genetics, actually cause or the culprits to make your breast sag. So, whether you choose to breastfeed or not, sagging shouldn't be like a concern for you. Your body is already doing sacred hard work. So, how your breasts look just does not matter. And that's the truth. Myth number two, formula is the same thing, very similar, the same thing. You could just use formula if rather than breast milk. Again, unfortunately, this is also a myth as breast milk contains antibodies, hormones that will benefit your baby. Formula just does not have all of these components. And I'm not saying formula is bad or formula cannot be used. If the need is there, formula can be used and it can be a life saving um, intervention. But don't let anyone tell you that formula and breast milk are just the same. Myth number three, you're not able to breastfeed if you're sick or on your period. This, unfortunately, is also a myth because when you are sick, your body is producing antibodies that can be passed to your breast milk and help protect your baby. So when you're sick, you should in fact breastfeed because your baby will be protected. When you're on your period as well, you absolutely can breastfeed, and this should not hurt or impact your milk supply at all. In fact, if you're on your period, your milk supply might dip for some moms. Some moms say the milk supply does dip in this um, few days, but it does pick back up with adequate hydration and nutrition. Myth number four, there's just no breast milk those first few days after delivery. This again is a myth. In fact, those first few days, the weeks leading up to delivery and after delivery, the first few days after delivery, the body does produce colostrum, and this is a liquid gold. It contains all of the nutrients you can imagine to help give your baby that head start after delivery. So don't let anyone tell you that there's just no milk those first few days because there is. And some doctors will even advise you to collect this milk prior to pregnancy. Some doctors or doctors' offices will give you like some tiny syringes to actually collect this colostrum, this liquid gold, so you can feed it to your baby those first few days. So don't get bugged down by, oh, I'm not seeing like the flow of milk those first few days. It's very, very common. In fact, that's the body's way of protecting your baby those first few days and preparing your body for when the actual milk does come. Finally, and this is one of the biggest ones I've actually heard, is myth number five, breastfeeding is easy and it should come naturally. No, it's not. Yes, your baby in the womb toward the end of pregnancy learns to suck and is born with a sucking instinct, but it's still a learning process for both mama and baby. For baby learning to latch, for mama learning to position herself to put the baby in the position where baby is able to latch on properly and able to feed and get out milk comfortably. It's not easy. It's a learning process. And some moms do feel like failures because they're not able to latch their babies properly and the baby is not able to get the milk out and gain adequate weight. Moms think that they're just not doing the best that they can for their baby, but it's not true. And you should not feel like a failure because of this. In fact, if you are struggling, you can definitely reach out to a lactation consultant, a peer counselor, or a fellow mom like you, a mom with experience who has nursed babies and could tell you or give you some tips and tricks on how to position yourself properly, how to position baby properly, and just get your milk out, get baby to get that nutrition that they need. Let's be honest, it's these myths and these truths, yes, you understand them, but it's not easy. It's easy for me, especially. And in fact, I had to lean into a scripture, lean into my faith to be able to navigate this season. And a scripture that really stood out to me was John chapter 8, verse 32. And John chapter 8, verse 32 says, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." That's just what evidence-based research does. It frees us from fear, guilt, and confusion. When we know the truth, we're able to make better decisions and make informed decisions for just not ourselves, but our baby too. Mama, to keep you encouraged, I created a breastfeeding affirmations and it's free. It's fully customizable to your needs and it's in the description box. So once you finish this video, click on the link in the description box to get or have access to this free breastfeeding affirmations. And you can have that anywhere you feed your baby, any room you feed your baby, or just by your chair. Something that you can put in the room to encourage yourself to keep going, to keep fighting this fight of breastfeeding because this is the best thing you're ever going to do for your baby. And this is the most rewarding, I dare say, the most rewarding experience you could ever have. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, consider subscribing to my newsletter. My newsletter is where I go into deeper dive of the research as well as personal stories. So, detailed personal stories, detailed research. Definitely, there's just so much packed in my newsletter. Again, in the description box, click in the link in the description box to access or subscribe to my newsletter to get my emails to you, delivered to you directly. Let me know in the comments what myths have you heard and how were you able to move past those myths and keep breastfeeding successfully. I want to know. Type it in the chat, in the comments, I mean, what helped you, the myths that you heard and how you're able to navigate these myths. And if this information was completely new to you, also type it in the chat. I will be reading and responding to the messages in the chat. Until next time, Mama, take care.